Have you ever stopped and wondered, what if those sudden impulses you get, the flashes of anger, the pangs of envy, even some of the big choices you make, what if they aren't completely 100% yours? What if they're actually being run by, well, hidden programs in your mind? So let's just dive right into that. Let's start with a question that really gets to the core of this idea. I mean, think about it for a second. The last time you felt this really powerful, sudden urge, were you truly the one in the driver's seat? And yeah, I think we've all been there, right? That completely unprompted, kind of irrational flash of negativity when you see someone else succeed. Or that almost unstoppable need to share a juicy piece of gossip. Well, the source material we're looking at suggests these aren't just random little personality quirks. In fact, the source gives them a specific name: social programs of behavior. The best way to think about them is like these persistent negative patterns that almost feel like they have a life of their own, just constantly pushing and pulling at us from behind the scenes. So where do they come from? This is where it gets really interesting. The source suggests it's not just one thing. Some of these programs are described as innate, almost like they're hardwired right into our DNA. But others are acquired. We just kind of soak them up from our culture, our upbringing, and of course, the media we're constantly surrounded by. And if we stick with that idea of programs, the source takes it a step further. It calls the really disruptive ones viruses. So let's take a look at some of the specific malware it says is running in our collective system. Okay, first up, we've got the hostility program. You know this one. It's that feeling when you see someone and for no good reason at all, you're just instantly annoyed. The source points out that this often comes out as malicious gossip or backbiting, which doesn't really help anyone. It just satisfies the program's urge to spread negativity. Then you've got the intrigue program. This one's all about deception. It can be on a small scale, making us manipulate people around us for a pretty hollow sense of accomplishment. But the source says it also scales way up, becoming the engine for huge lies that can sweep through entire societies. And oh, there are plenty more. There's the competition and envy program, which makes us see successful people as enemies instead of inspiration. Then there's the herd mentality, which is super common. It's when we just ditch what we actually want to go along with the crowd. And of course, the worship program, where we put other people on a pedestal and totally forget about our own inner power. Now, some of these viruses aren't about being hostile. They're more about keeping us small. There's earthboundness, which keeps our focus stuck on just the day-to-day grind, blocking out any bigger picture. A deep fear of death, which is described here as a fear of losing personality, can absolutely crush our creative spirit. And then materialism, the program that tries to convince us that what we can see and touch is all there is. Okay, so this is the million-dollar question, right? Where on earth did this code come from? I mean, if these programs are so widespread, how did they get installed in us in the first place?
Well, according to the source, it's definitely not by accident. The claim here is that our whole social environment is basically operating under a certain code, an energetic bar that actually creates the perfect breeding ground for all these negative patterns to grow and thrive.
To put it another way, think of these programs like invasive weeds in a garden. They can only really take over if the conditions are just right. The source argues that these negative behaviors are actually authorized and supported by outside forces, and that's exactly why they're so stubborn and spread so easily. Okay, and this next part, this is the analogy that makes the whole thing just click. The source gives us this incredibly powerful way to visualize this whole idea, using a computer as the perfect metaphor for the mind. So check this out. Your body, your genetics, that's the hardware. Those social programs we've been talking about, that's the pre-installed malware that came with the system. And the things like society and media, those are the external servers, constantly pinging your system, trying to get you to run that malware. But, and this is the most important part of the whole thing, your consciousness, your higher self, you are the user with admin rights. And that means you get the final say on what runs and what gets deleted. And that one idea, that you are the user with admin rights, well, that changes everything, doesn't it? It means you actually have the power to take back control of your own system. It means you can do a clean sweep. Because here's the thing, the real takeaway is that changing the world isn't about some massive external fight. According to this framework, it all starts inside. It starts with each and every one of us becoming aware of our own internal operating system and the programs it's trying to run. So how do you actually do it? It's laid out as a pretty clear 3-step process. Step 1, you have to recognize the malware. Just notice that flash of envy or that urge to gossip for what it is, a program. Step 2. You access your admin rights. That means connecting with your deeper consciousness, that quiet observer inside. And step 3. You choose what to run. You make a conscious decision not to click yes on that program. And really, it all boils down to this feeling of empowerment. The source is arguing that even if these programs are pre-installed, even if they're running everywhere, the final choice always belongs to you. The impulse might show up, but you can just watch it and let it go. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. If your mind really is an operating system and you're the one with the ultimate power over it, which applications are you choosing to run today?